Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope the holidays were good for you as well. We're one day removed from Christmas. Hopefully you got some cool new consoles and video games and stuff like that. If you got WWE 2K25 for Christmas, let me know down in the comments below. It's a very fun game. It should definitely keep you busy for a while. On with the video. Alright, so we've been making a lot of wish list videos on the channel this month. It really has been telling me, based off the views alone, which modes you really like and which modes you do not care about. I have a feeling there's this thing going around with the 2K franchise, and that's franchise fatigue. Now, it could just be because the subject matter, it could be the algorithm screwing me over, but I have a feeling part of it is because of the franchise fatigue for the franchise. That's why I think why the views are so low. People just aren't ready or don't care about 2K26. We're all waiting for Ultra Pro Wrestling, shoutouts to Sam and company. We're all waiting on the wrestling code. We're all waiting on all these other wrestling games. Neckbreakers, Ultra Violence Pro Wrestling. What happened to all these wrestling games? Casual Pro Wrestling's in the works. There's always the Wrestling Empire, which is really fun. But the main two are Ultra Pro Wrestling and the Wrestling Code. Once those two come out, I feel like we'll finally have some competition. And of course, there's always rumblings, hearsay, crazy stuff going on in the background about AEW Fight Forever 2. Is it a thing? Is Yuke's working on that now because their two games that they were working on finally came out? So what's going on with Yuke's? Anyway, with that all being said, with everything going on, let's talk about the top 10 things I want to see in WWE 2K26. Number 1. Create a story. But not just a separate mode where you create the story. I want Create a Story blended and infused in the guts of Universe mode. Imagine taking Create a Story, and I mentioned this in my Universe video I made like a couple weeks ago, where you could plan out the entire year, every cutscene, every run-in, everything, for every single show, like every weekly show. I'm talking SmackDown, Raw, NXT, whatever. If they want to limit it at first because it's the first go-around, they could just limit it to one show. And then you just play through that one show all year rather than do 3 different shows. Man, can you imagine making the storylines for everything? It'd be crazy. But I think this would be awesome. This would blow up online. There's a lot of people that would love this. For me, I would love it, and I mentioned this in my Universe video. Make sure you check it out. It's a great video. Where you could plan out the entire storyline for your entire season. And if you're a YouTube creator trying to create like a universe show, which is what this channel was going to be, but it turned into what it is now, where you see my face and we're just talking about wish lists and the game itself and things I want in the game, things I hate about the game, the typical thing. This would be awesome. In fact, if they did this, I would absolutely 110% make a wrestling show introducing my created wrestlers. I would obviously use the main roster, and I would very slowly introduce my characters and get them over like you would do in a normal wrestling show. It would just be so fun to me. It's something I've always wanted to do, but I've never had the tools to do it. I'm not a super computer tech guy, so I can't figure out how to do it online with mods and stuff. But if they gave me the tools to do it in-game, I don't think I'd play any other game for the whole year. I would just be doing that all year. How fun would that be? God, that'd be fun. Anyway, number 2. Now, this is a highly requested feature. And they removed it, I believe, back in 2K15 when everything changed. And that's body morphing. Now, I've mentioned this in pretty much every Create a Wrestler video I've ever made or Create a Superstar. They don't have to go nuts like some of these other games where you can give them huge gorilla arms or giant legs or a tiny little head or the biggest rack ever would fit in any bra. I'm just saying, like, give us just a little bit of wiggle room, if that makes sense. Like, allow me to increase the arm size a little bit, the leg size, the chest size, the head size. Just adjust it, the traps, because even though they have a bunch of different presets, there's not like one perfect one. Like, there's always something wrong with each one. It's like I'm very picky when I'm making my main 2 wrestlers. It's like, I don't like this part of it, this part of it. It's just let me control the whole thing. Every little aspect, the hand size, the arm length, the leg length. And like I said, it doesn't have to be crazy like other games with a create a character. Just give me a little bit. Just give me enough to where it's a noticeable difference. I feel like that's fair to ask, and it doesn't break the game, and it doesn't make the character clip through all of the creation parts. I think that's the main reason, because any size differentials that they have to make sure all the creation parts are scalable to those body morphs. I think that's why they got rid of it, because there's so many created superstar parts, and the way they're adding more in, it makes body morphing almost impossible at this point. But I feel like if they really wanted to get it done, they could absolutely do it. And it is a highly requested feature every single year by the creation community. So, body morphing, please be in 2K26, especially if we're dropping last gen. Even if you don't drop last gen, at the very least, put it in current gen. It could be a current gen feature. Like, if you want body morphing, you have to go buy the new system. I think that's fair. All right, number 3. Now, this one might be a little confusing, but I want a Minecraft-style arena maker, or backstage maker. So what do I mean by Minecraft? So imagine you have the entire arena, like Staples Arena or whatever, any arena, completely empty. You go through, and you can either have it all be flat leveled. You can add in how the audience sits. You can have the position of the ring. You can shape the entire thing. If you want it to be a spiral seating section, you could do that. You could place objects like ambulances, all sorts of stuff. You can literally place and build fully customizable Titantrons with different Titantron parts, instead of having it the way it is now, where it's been like this, I think, since they invented or Create an Arena. I think it's been the same ever since they introduced it. This mode, I feel like Create an Arena is the mode that needs the biggest overhaul when it comes to Creation Suite. It just needs to be thrown out and give us a completely new creation tools. Because as it is currently, it's so limited. Like, you can barely do anything with the Titantron. And when it comes to the ring itself, I feel like we're losing features. Like, you can't do patterns on certain sections anymore. You can't stretch out your logo the way you want to. Sometimes it doesn't appear on all sides of the ring. You really have to fight with it, and with each update, it typically screws up your logo placement. So I feel like the best case scenario is to toss this out, or at least maybe don't touch it for a year on, actually in the game, but on the back end, rebuild this whole Create an Arena section like a Minecraft game, where you can take pretty much an in-game NPC, if you will, and you just go around, or if it helps your brain better, Fortnite. The creation tools they have in Fortnite are crazy. Imagine being able to do that in a wrestling game for your arena. Just create some bizarre, awesome arena. There's always the modders that do all the cool stuff with the arena maker. Give us the tools to do that. That'd be super awesome. I would say Halo Forge, but a lot of you young guys probably have no idea what I'm talking about, so I'm trying to stick to the things that most fans or most people would know about, and that's Minecraft and Fortnite. Just give me better creation tools for Create an Arena, and holy crap, dude, I would come up with some pretty awesome fantasy arenas for you guys. All right, number 4. Now, with next gen, or should I say, I keep saying next gen, it's current gen consoles. We're 5 years in, current gen consoles. On the PS5 and the Series X and PC, there's no reason why we can't have. I'm gonna go full crazy and say 500 Create a Superstar slots and 5,000 image limit. Why not? These hard drives are huge. PC should have unlimited space because it's PC. Come on. Now on the Switch 2, they'd probably have to cut that in half. Not because the Switch 2 is like super weak or anything. It's just it's not as powerful as the other systems. So they'd have to pull it back a little bit. Heck, anything over 100 and over 1,000 images is an improvement in my book. And for the Switch version in particular, I just want the image uploader to begin with. Like, we don't even have that. But for PS5, Xbox Series consoles, and PC, I want at minimum 500 created character slots. That would be freaking awesome. Imagine the massive rosters you could have. Number 5. Now, I mentioned this in my gameplay video wish list, so make sure you go check that out. It's a great video. I asked for something for new fans and old returning fans that haven't played a wrestling game in years, and that's simple controls for both old and new players. Simple controls, kind of like they have in Street Fighter and Tekken 8, to try to bring in new fans, broaden out the player base, it would go a long way. Like, I think, for helping out just the game in general. Plus, for some of us fans that don't like having to learn every single button, the only reason that it doesn't bother me, the current controller layout, is because I have that muscle memory ever since they changed it in 2K22. A lot of new fans, that let's say they haven't played it since 2K19, 2K18 or something like that, or way back in the SmackDown versus Raw days, or maybe the last wrestling game was an Aki game. Why not just have simple controls? I'm sure there's a way to do it, and it would, like I said, it would go a long way. Plus, when your little brother's trying to play and you can't figure out all the different buttons that do multiple tasks, it's like, how do you play this game? Like my brother, he's older than me, and he refuses to play wrestling games with me because the learning curve is so big now. He's like, I don't even know what this is. I can't figure this out, and he just gives up. It's like, even if I try to put him in a tag match with me, and I basically carry the match to like try to teach him how to play the game, he's like, oh, it's too complicated. Sorry. I'm like, man, because it'd be super fun to have a buddy to play through tag matches and all this kind of stuff, and especially in Universe mode. Imagine just playing through Universe mode as a tag team. That'd be freaking awesome. That's why it needs online. Universe mode needs an online mode, just co-op mode for online play. That'd be super fun. Number 6. Now, some of you guys don't want this, probably because you're too used to the new controls, and that's okay. This could be an option. It doesn't have to be completely changed just to this. I'm going to change my narrative here because I said throw out the new system and just bring this back. And it's bring back the old countering system, the 2-button system. One trigger or bumper, one bumper for grapples and one bumper for strikes, and then you click both for finishers and signatures. I feel like that was the absolute pinnacle of the countering systems. I don't know why they would ever change it, but a lot of people don't like that, apparently. You guys told me in the comments down below. I'm like, oh, okay. I thought everybody hated the new system, but I guess to each their own. A lot of people liked the 1-button system, but I feel like that makes the game too easy. Like 2K20, like once you get to a point where you learn the timing of every single move, you could literally just counter everything. And it made the game, even on legendary difficulty, pretty easy. Now, playing against other people, well, I didn't have anybody to play against, but playing against a computer, I could literally counter almost everything. Occasionally, I would mess up and get punched in the face. I'm like, dang it. But then immediately, I'd get countered right back. So there's a good give and take there. I feel like they could find a good balance, but why not just do both? Have both. Heck, have those single button one too for simple controls, like we were talking about earlier. I feel like that'd be really good. Number 7. Now, I made a whole video on this, and that's a locker room that we can fully customize, like in SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. Go check out that video for more information on that. I don't want to keep going over it. I've gone over it like 3 times. Basically, you have a locker room. You can display all your championship wins, all your career mode highlights, tracks your wins, losses, title wins. You can fully deck it out, put whatever couch you want in there, color the walls, put up a bunch of girly posters and stuff like that. Just freaking cool stuff. I want that back, and I want it in 2K26. I think it'd be awesome. Why not? Number 8. Fight anywhere in the arena, crowds, staircases, food stands, out front by the entrance of the arena, kind of like in the old SmackDown games. I want to be able to fight anywhere in the arena. Having it so confined to literally the ramp, the stage area, and the ring, and occasionally they have little side pockets for the Falls Count Anywhere matches. I want to be able to fight in the crowd. I want to be able to fight on the stairs. I want to be able to go outside where the concession stands are and fight out there, like one seamless giant arena. I think every match I do would be a Falls Count Anywhere match just so I could fight everywhere and then end up having to go back to the ring. You can even create a match type to where you have to finish the match in the ring, like pinfalls only count in the ring, but you don't get counted out. You could literally fight in the entire arena. Imagine just having a cool movie-style brawl across the entire arena and then end up back in the ring. That'd be super cool. It'd be like cinema. It'd be super fun. I would be in a match for like an hour just beating up everybody, going across everything, and then they could have little interactions where you can throw them through the popcorn table or into the popcorn machine or dump him with soda or hit him with a coffee or throw beer in his face, stuff like that. That's how you improve these games that actually make sense to wrestling, right? I just think that feature would be awesome. I should have included that in one of my gameplay videos, but that sounds awesome to me. All right, number 9. Now this, I don't know how this would work because of all the microtransactions, but it'd be really nice to have a cross save and progression system for all platforms. So let's say, like for me, I bought the game on the PlayStation 5 and the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, when I go to play the Nintendo Switch 2 version, I'm going to have to go through and play through all the modes again and try to unlock everything twice. That's a no-no for me. Now, I can understand if they don't want to make it to where your DLC unlocks across multiple platforms because the platform holders want their money, obviously. But I'm talking about like story progress, unlocks, my faction unlocks should carry over, absolutely. Your island unlock should carry over, absolutely. Anything online should carry over. And of course, your single player saves should carry over. But your purchases, anything that has to be purchased, that would be where they have to draw the line because of, like I said, the platform holders. But I don't see why not. This would incentivize people to buy multiple copies of the game. Like, I would have played the living crap out of the Switch 2 version and the PS5 version if my saves were shared between the two, and if I could use cross-community creations between the two. The whole reason I bought the Switch 2 version was to make my wrestlers, upload them, and then download them on my PS5 and play on the big TV. Even though you can play the Switch 2 on the big TV, that's not what I wanted the Switch 2 version for. Like, I guess I'll just have to wait till the PlayStation 6 handheld comes out, or hybrid comes out, because that's what I've been waiting for a wrestling series forever. I was hoping Ultra Pro Wrestling was going to be that game, but they're still working on it, so it looks like 2K26, or probably 2K27, will be that game. Number 10. This will probably never ever happen, but I'm going to keep asking for it every single year, especially if the games are pretty much carbon copies of each other, and that's that our created wrestlers carry over from game to game. So, for instance, I want my created wrestlers that I make about 40 or 50 every single year, except for this year because the Creation Suite had a lot of issues. I want to be all those wrestlers to carry over to the next game. Like, there's no reason for it not to, because they all look exactly the same. It's the same parts. It's the same tools and everything. I don't see why you couldn't do it. They could just make it so the face resets. The biggest thing, the actual creation of the character isn't the problem. It's the movesets, it's the entrances, it's all the stuff you have to do after you create the character. Because I would go back through and recreate them anyway because I want them to look different for each game. And that's part of the fun, is actually creating them. Oh, and also the stats. I want the stats to carry over. That's another major part of it. But the moveset. Now, even if you sit there and you take pictures or write down all your moves, you still have to go through there and spend hours getting all your moves back for your character, especially if you make 50. But at some point, I just kind of copy and paste the main roster because I'm like, these are just side characters that are there for my main two characters to beat up. So I just copy and paste movesets from in the game because it takes too long. Now, when I originally created all these wrestlers, way, way back in the SmackDown versus Raw series, in the SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, SmackDown Just Bring It, I would actually sit there and go through and change every single move for every character. I ranked up tons of time with those characters. This is back when you're in school and you go on summer vacation and you have all the time in the world. So with a job and trying to run 3 YouTube channels now, I don't have time for that. So it'd be very nice quality of life feature to just let my wrestlers carry over. That way I can create new ones. I can update what they look like. I can see what new parts they added. And then I don't have to worry about the moveset. Like, if there's some new moves in there, make sure they're in a highlighted section, because otherwise, I probably wouldn't even look in there. I'm like, oh good, all the moves are the same? Cool, I don't have to go change them. I might change up some just to make the game feel fresh. But other than that, really want my characters to carry over from game to game. Alright, so there are the top 10 things I would love to see at 2K26. A lot of the stuff absolutely is not going to happen, but who knows? Maybe they'll shock me this year. Kind of like they shocked me with intergender matches returning, the third-person camera, something I thought they'd never do, and the island. That came out of left field. I'm like, holy crap, a freaking island? Okay, cool. Anyway, sound off the comments below. What are the top 10 things you want to see? It doesn't have to be 10. It could just be the number one thing. Sound off the comments below. Thank you for watching. And as always, stay frosty.